Oh, good morning, my friend. Our day's a little bit whopper jaw because I actually thought that the Ohio State-Michigan game was at 5 p.m. today, and it's actually right now. It started at 9 a.m., so instead of taking you where you were going to go, I'm going to watch the game and then I'll take you, and then I'm going to hop on a train and go do our vlog by train. Is that cool with you? You'll be playing with your buddy, so it won't really affect you, but I'm just letting you know, Jaw. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. Where I'm from in Ohio, this is pretty much like a state holiday. Ohio State versus Michigan is always a huge deal. Alright, well, the Buckeyes finally got on the board, and when I say this is almost a state holiday, I'm not even kidding. Well, I just got a knock on my door and this thing finally arrived. Remember when I told you guys way back, I think when Obama was still in office? Jeez, no kidding. I mean, like, seriously, I ordered this last month, and I ordered a Chromebook. It never showed up. I've been fighting with the guy back and forth trying to find out where this thing was, and after 3.5 weeks, I finally gave up, and he reimbursed me, and I bought another one. So the one that I got from somebody else has now finally shown up. All right, there it is. It turns on. It opened up. It does all the preliminary things that show that it's going to work. It's a good sign. I totally got this completely just for YouTubing. Alright, we're gonna drop off Jaw. Alright, this Joker gets some playtime now. These two. He's on the top of the sofa. Alright, well, Jaw's been dropped off. He's gonna play for the day, and we're gonna go do the vlog. Now, I'm actually gonna take the train for this one, and I was thinking to myself, what would be a great thing to do for the vlog today that would be Hollywood, you know, Hollywood celebrity, historical, and Christmas, and I thought of what I think is the perfect thing. Today we're gonna go downtown and we're gonna see the old Wilshire Bullock's department store. Now it's no longer a department store, but it's still there and the building has quite a history. And it was in my all-time favorite Christmas movie, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Well, I keep hearing horns honk, and there's never a good thing when there's somebody walking through with a shopping cart and doesn't want to get out of the street for any reason. Now, Bullock's has a really great place in Los Angeles history because not only did they film part of the last scene on the rooftop of Bullock's for Ghostbusters from 1984, they also filmed the Aerosmith Love in an Elevator video here. John Wayne used to buy some of his saddlery here. Greta Garbo used to buy men's slacks for herself here. And Mae West used to shop without ever leaving her car. Well, the parking lot for the Church from Sister Act and Back to the Future is currently a Christmas tree stand. Wouldn't that be great to be able to get your Christmas tree where Marty McFly played Johnny B. Good? And believe it or not, the subway stop or the train stop is actually on the other side of this. Wah, wah. It's broke. But this one works. We made it to our train stop. Now we just have to walk a couple of blocks east and we're going to be over at BULLOCK'S WILSHIRE. Now if you'll notice how busy of a street Wilshire is, that building off in the distance right there, that's actually our destination for today. And at the time that this was built in 1929, this was not a busy street. This was actually a residential area. This was a community. And it was the very first department store ever to be built in a residential area in Los Angeles. Now, at the time this was built, all of the department stores and everything had always been located downtown, and so women that were doing their shopping during the day would have to work their way downtown, do the shopping, and come back. And this was actually the first department store that they put right in the middle of a neighborhood. In fact, Wilshire didn't even connect all the way through like it does now, where it goes pretty much from the beach in Santa Monica all the way through to downtown. It didn't do that then. Now, unfortunately, Bullock's no longer exist. It was the premier department store in this area from 1929 until it closed down in 1993, and mainly the reason it closed down was there was a lot of competition and people just quit going. But throughout that entire time, this was the place, or this was the kind of place that people would meet up and spend the whole day, because they really built it for that. They actually had one designer for this when it was opened in 1929, but she had actually hired 13 different people to build the different departments inside here. And so the architecture in each department was drastically different and would give you kind of a feel of being in a different place in every department that you went. And at the time, this was, you know, you may ask yourself, well, why would they spend so much time creating the interiors, or who even cared? It was just like a movie. It was going out and getting lost for the day. And so they figured the more prestigious they could make it and the more interesting they could make it, the longer people would stay here and enjoy themselves. This was for everyone. This was for people that lived in the neighborhood, and it was also for celebrities. A lot of celebrities not only shopped here but worked here. Now, one of the legends was that one of the men who was the financier and builder of this, Mr. Bullock, they used to say that he lived up in that tower, but that actually wasn't true. The tower was just kind of a figurehead, so that when you were driving you could point and say, there's Bullock's. It was just kind of, you know, a monolith. And they actually, when this was created, they called it a cathedral of commerce. Now, in its heyday, when it opened, there actually was a saddlery shop in here, because polo was a big thing at the time, and Clark Gable would actually buy his breeches here, they said. They said there used to be a horse in there, like a life-size mannequin horse named Barney, that people would, as they were getting fitted for their wares, they would hop on there to make sure they fit properly. There was also a department in the front, in the makeup area, where Angela Lansbury worked. Up on the second floor in the collegiate area, June Lockhart once worked. Now, obviously, you guys know me, I would kill to get in here and take a look around, but unfortunately it's not open to the public. From what I was able to find out online, they basically do 1 to 2 public tours a year, and this year it happened to be when I was in Sweden, so I wasn't able to do it. Now it's a Southwestern Law School library, and they actually took this over a few years, I want to say 4 or 5 years, after Bullock's Wilshire closed down. And it was a sad day, I'm telling you. I was able to find a few varying articles and interviews with people that shopped here and how sad they were. But there was actually a little bit more to the history here, was that there was actually a gown shop, and they had real mannequins. They would, if the celebrities or women that were looking at buying a gown wanted to, they would have someone go on, try on the gown, and then they would come walking out. And in the gown department, they actually had the room painted with a mural or murals all over the walls of kind of tropical outdoor scenery, and they would dim the lights so that the person that was looking at the mannequin could then see what the gown would look like in the evening. And they said at the time they had a photo of Jean Harlow inside there. This also boasted being the very first department store to have a boutique by a famous designer. Actually, Irene, who did a lot of the MGM costumes back in, I believe, the mid-30s, opened a boutique here, and Marlene Dietrich would shop here, Ginger Rogers, and various people. Now, as you can see when you look in there, this would have been one of the original entrances, although on the other side is where you would pull in, and it was kind of like the valet area, but you can see some of the law books. Now, this place also boasted a, when it first opened, a quasi-indoor-outdoor courtyard, a palm court for men, and it was located right outside the men's dressing, or the men's shop, and men could just go out there and smoke. And then actually up on, I believe, the second or third floor, they had a tea room, and women could go in there and enjoy a full day of tea. Now here, if you remember when I mentioned the saddlery, this room is actually where the saddlery was, inside there, and you can tell because of that right there. And then there's the old Bullock's B. Now one great thing about this is that even though Southwestern Law School took it over and they did do some renovations, from what I was able to see online, they kept it somewhat in the same vein, or as close as they could, minus all the you know, all the counters and sales accoutrement. Let's take a look inside here. Yeah, this was actually the saddlery. Now I found a photo inside, or online, that stairwell that we're looking at right there, that used to be the doggery, and that's where all the puppies and all the things that you would, the accessories you would buy for your puppies would be. But right inside here was the saddlery, and that's where the full-size horse Barney would be. Now I also teased you with telling you that this was also one of the scenes, or one of my favorite movies of all time had a scene that was filmed here. And the scene was actually down there. So it's actually right inside here that Clark is in there, and he's asking the woman at the counter about the women's underwear, and the woman pulls her dress up and starts saying where you can't see the line.
Can't see the line.
Can't see the line, can you, Russ?
No.
And that's also where he's saying that his wife is, God rest her soul, and the saleswoman goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." He goes, "Oh no, she's not dead, we're just divorced, she's history."
Oh, no, she's not dead. Yeah, we're just divorced. She's history. And obviously she doesn't wear underwear.
And then Rusty walks up and sees Clark flirting with a woman, but that's also the same woman who eventually is in his daydream when he's getting the pool. So yeah, this is the old Bullock's, and I actually just talked to somebody here and got a phone number, so I'm gonna see if I can't contact them at some point, and maybe they'll let me do an update to what the insides look like, since I seem to know, you know, at least a little bit about the history. That landmark says, "To build a business that will never know completion." It's incredible. Now unfortunately they did come out and talk to me about filming already, and so basically where the discoloration is, that's their property, so I can actually stand here and film. But the guy was actually nice enough to tell me that the tea room is still in there. And like I said, even this is, because it's a holiday weekend, it's pretty dead around here, but this is normally one of the most busy streets in all of Los Angeles. This is, I consider, when I hear the name of Wilshire, I think of downtown. And to think that it at one time was residential area, and that it wasn't skyscrapers and tall buildings and everything else, and that at one time, other than just Bullock's, which is, you know, right here, the Ambassador Hotel was the only thing on Wilshire that was commercial property. And they actually had, when Bullock's was open, they had these really great murals in every department called like the Spirit of Sports or the Spirit of whatever. And actually over here on the side, I don't want to get myself in too much trouble, but over here on the side where you actually pull in, that's where you would pull in and the valets would go park your car for you and load up your packages and everything. And right above that, in that walkway where you would enter from there, like I said, they wanted everybody to feel like it was a whole experience. Right there where you would pull in, on top they had a mural called the Spirit of Transportation, because at that time everything was about the automobile. And I don't know if they still have them, but at the time that they closed down, they still had the original brass palm trees in the smoking palm court. It sounds like, from what I could read online, they kept as many things as possible that were original, so they might still be in there somewhere. There it is. There's the place where you would drive your car into, where the valets would see you, and I can actually see the mural on top. I'll see if I can't switch lenses and get that real quick. And there's that Spirit of Transportation mural I was telling you about up there. That's about as tight as I can get it, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know, guys. You think that's a magic carpet? I kind of doubt it. And if you look right there in the very corner of the building, it says BULLOCK'S WILSHIRE AD 1929, John C. Bullock President, P.G. Winnett Vice President, and then everything else is kind of faded. But P.G. Winnett was the reason that they had that saddlery shop in there. He was a big fan of polo, which was very popular at the time. Well guys, I'm sorry if I accidentally forgot anything. When I get interrupted, sometimes my brain gets a little bit scattered, but hopefully I'll get in here and be able to show you the insides at some point, and I can fill you in on what I didn't put in here today. I don't know if you can see it, but I see those curtains up there. I think that's where the tea room was. Now unfortunately, as far as Christmas Vacation goes and wanting to vlog that, there's not a whole lot I can actually vlog because the actual Griswold house is on the Warner Ranch and they don't really let anybody on there to film. And a few shots were done here and there, so I'll do another one here probably before Christmas time. But that one's a pretty great scene. Seeing Clark Griswold in there flirting with the saleswoman and going through that whole spiel, it's a great scene. It really wouldn't be the Christmas season if the stores were any less hotter than they are. Oh, that's a nice touch. Alright, let's head back. Union Station or North Hollywood? I really don't have to be anywhere. I don't know where I should go. Let's go this way. Long way down. When did I enter the Philippines? Rubik's Cube.
Welcome aboard the Metro Red Line.
Well, he already finished one. He's got 3 of them right here on his bag. I just watched him finish one. This guy's awesome. He just closes his eyes and does it.
Sunset Station.
Ah, back in Hollywood. So I actually want to show you guys some murals that are in the alleyway behind here. Now you turn down here and check this out. Huh? A lot of people don't even know these are here. And then they're right next to the Stella Adler Academy. And then check this out. Closed to the public, but look how ornate this back entryway is. Not exactly sure what this is. Must be a restaurant or something. whatever it is, it's definitely a squatter's paradise now. There's definitely nothing happening as of late. Now they said in part the reason that Bullock's ended up closing down in 1993 was because of some of the looting and some of the damage that had been done during the LA riots in 1992. A lot of the things on the ground floor, the display cases were all broken, and they said actually, thankfully, Bullock's was never designed with an escalator system, so when they knew that the riots were actually going to break out, people that were working at Bullock's shut down the elevator system so that the rioters, when they actually broke in, couldn't get up to any of the higher floors. Yeah, well, surprise, so are you. Well, good evening, Lionhearts. I'm going to call it a night. I just wanted to send a big shout out thank you to Ann Santos for making a donation to my trip to Belgium. And everyone else, come back tomorrow. I have a special vlog planned, and I know you guys will enjoy it. Have a great night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Goodbye.
Hey, 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 hey. How could that boy with everything that he's got walk his old mama to the chopping block? I said, hey, 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 hey. Wouldn't you flip if the dog started talking, and wouldn't you trip if on two legs he was walking? I was in the barn, happy and willing, till I looked up at the house and I got these feelings.